Hello and welcome to Homemade with Heart, Stampin' with Eva. Gonna give another video a shot here with something I got inspired by. There was a nice demonstrator that posted online this beautiful card, Amanda Burdett, and I thought, wow, that is so pretty. I really like it. But it got me thinking, okay, she's used a color family. I thought, what happens if I try using, hues of the same color? So what we're going to do in our little video here is figure out a way to use our paper scraps. Now, I don't know about you, but I have tons of little scraps from my paper trimmer. But what you need to start with is to slice up some of those scraps into 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and 3/4 inch pieces. Then I sorted them by color and made a card base and are going to show you how I paper wove. So I'm starting with a blue family here. I have a white card base, a pretty peacock layer, but you're going to need to build your weaving on a white base. Or you can do a black base if you want, and it just depends how tightly you want to weave it. So I just decided I would play along and see what colors looked good and pleasing to the eye. And you need about five vertical strips. And oh gosh, I didn't even count how many you need for crosswise, but you want a nice mix. So I kind of weave to the middle, over and under, over and under. The first few strips are the hardest, just because everything's moving on you. Okay, there, over, under, over, under. Okay, then we're going to take the next strip and do the opposite. And I find if I hold it down, I'm a little better at weaving them all together initially. And I want to just mix, oh, I guess I have a few greens in here too, blues and greens. Just what I thought would look pleasing together. But I thought, what a fun way to make some beautiful cards that are not very hard. So after you get a few strips put in, you just kind of straighten it up a little bit. Keep weaving some more, mixing up your colors and sizes. And then pretty soon you've got something that looks good to your eye. Now, what's so fun about this paper weaving technique is you can use any color combination you want. I just thought it'd be fun to try color families a little bit. Blues, reds, greens. And as we move along, I'll show you some examples of other colors. And at the end, I'll show you even some embellishments and other tricks you can try. So after you've got a few pieces woven in, top and bottom, you check to see how it's looking on your white piece, Whisper white piece, to see how much more you need to do and how you need to adjust your piece. So anyway, I'm going to move on to another color combination, but you get the idea here. So you're basically weaving your paper till you make it fit on your white card base. So moving from the blues and greens, I have a red and pink combination all woven together. And now I'm ready to lay it on my white base to see how it fits. Now, you do need to be careful that you have a little margin on all four sides of your base. So I've got a teeny little margin of white all the way around. Now, you're welcome to use the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue that Stampin' Up! Sells. I am kind of a fan of this art glitter glue that Amazon sells, just because the tip is a little finer and it doesn't clog quite as much. So what I do is I start adding glue to the perimeter on every piece that's going to touch down. But we'll have to add some more glue after we get this attached to the card base. Or actually the white layer, sorry. But you don't want to go crazy with the glue, just enough to kind of hold things. So you get the idea. Okay, so then flip it back over, start positioning it where you think it'll look good on your Whisper White layer. Then start to straighten any pieces of cardstock so you get nice 90-degree angles. And then you press it down. Now at this point, this is where I take my glue and I reach under and start sticking down the top layer. And I just keep turning it, rotating it 90 degrees to get that glue under there. Go all the way around, all four sides. It's really fun to work with warm and cool colors. Reds and pinks and oranges and yellows, they fall in the warm color family. Blues, greens, purples, they fall in the cool. And it's just fun to kind of see how things turn out. So once you're all done gluing, I found one of my large stamp blocks to weight it down, and I let it dry for 5 or 10 minutes, like so. Just so it has even pressure. I keep looking to make sure my margins are pretty good. Anyway, so you let that glue, and then when it's all dry, I'm going to have a layer that looks like this. Now here's my reds and oranges and yellows, some warm colors. So after it's all dry, you're going to take your scissors, flip it over, and just cut off the edges like so, all the way around. And I find that you are less likely to cut into your card base if you just keep rotating it around, so you're always cutting straight and not having to move your wrist very much. Okay, so get it all trimmed, then see how it's looking on your color layer. Oh, that's going to look pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to glue that down. And again, you can use a stamping block to weight it down for a moment. This glue dries pretty fast, so it should be all right here. And then I've got my white card base, and I'm going to glue that on down. So really, these cards don't take very long to create, and they're each unique and different because no weaving is ever going to be the same twice. It's just really fun. Kind of takes me back to my kindergarten days. Alrighty, so then I had a 1/4 inch margin, try to make that look nice. Okay, so at this point, you've got a finished card, and then you need to decide, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to decorate it with a label? Do I want to jazz it up a bit? So here's some of my other color combinations. So I did some greens with just a label and added some retired enamel embellishments, but those worked out really nice. And then I did another card with just some pinks, and I thought, oh, that looks pretty. Then my idea started flowing, and I thought, what would happen if I ran the card through my Big Shot? Or not the card, the layer. So I ran the white and colored paper strips layer through my Big Shot. This I used the subtle embossing folder on, and I thought, wow, that gives it a really nice texture. And I had an old wood element that I thought, oh, kind of reminds me of a woodsy theme, so I'm going to glue that on. Then lastly, I thought, what would happen if I got a really fancy embossing folder? And this is the new greenery folder out of the new annual catalog, and I ran it across the bottom and across the top, and I thought, wow, that really adds some pizzazz. So you can have a very simple beginner card, a little more casual, and even an avid stamper can make beautiful cards here. As you can see, I used a black base behind the one with the butterfly, and I thought that really helped pop the reds off the card. Just comparing the layer we finished with the black, black versus white. Again, striking differences in the cards are really lovely that way. So anyway, I hope you'll give this a try, and that way you can use up your paper scraps, or at least make a dent in them. I know I have a lot. But thanks for visiting. Thanks for watching my video today, and I hope you'll give this a try. Have a great day.